I am in beautiful and dark and gloomy and cold Poznan, Poland now. It's where I live. And I decided to take a vacation, and I saw cheap tickets to Cyprus. Never been to Cyprus, no idea what's there. So got some tickets for a week. Probably feel better with a little more sun. And as things usually seem to happen with me, I couldn't resist contacting local math departments. So I have a talk at Cyprus University in Nicosia. So I actually need to get to the airport right now to fly there, also because the popo is chasing me as usual. So we need to go run to the airport right now. Bus to Nicosia is leaving right away. It's every 20 minutes. Wonderful. It's 65 degrees out here. I am way overdressed for this, and this leaves soon, so I really got to pack my luggage. It was a little chaotic, but I finally made it to my room in the center of the city. And this, I think, turned out pretty well, actually. So there's a couple rooms. There's one with this bed over here, storage space. There's something kind of weird right here. Not sure. I have just a view of this from the room. I've never seen anything like that from an apartment, but you know, it's interesting. And you know, bathroom, unremarkable. I might need to wait for hot water. And we got this nice big room over here. And we even have like a giant closet here with a bunch of space and stuff in it. So how much, you know, in a downtown Nicosia, capital of Cyprus, was this per night? It turned out to be only $42.51, so I'm pretty happy with that. First thing when I make it out of my apartment, there's a little friendly ginger cat who only wants to be petted, standing on this perch here. That's such a cat thing to do. Osmo Pocket 3.
What is this?
Osmo Pocket 3 is what it's called.
This is strange.
Yeah,
I take a picture of this.
Sure.
This is from the ET movies.
So I bought a wallet.
What is this?
After math, not after months. When I get a new toy, I often want to try it in a new video. And I have this new DJI Mic Mini. Had it for a little bit, but haven't shot a video with it really. And it's really small, and it was fairly cheap. And like, this is the Mic 2 I've been using for most of my videos since. And look at the size comparison. And one of the first things that was popping into my mind earlier when I was using this, like, yeah, this might be a really easy thing to lose. So this actually is not the one I was using earlier. This is my second one. So I've actually spent several hours walking around trying to find the first one of this that I lost. A couple first impressions, and it's after, you know, still bothered by losing that. Like, it's like it has a little personality, and I'm trying to protect it, and I'm like abandoning it if I lose it on the ground and don't find it again. So I just still really feel bad about that. And relating to that, after looking for that microphone for a bit, like, all the restaurants are closed. So there's nothing that's open like really super late unless you want to go to, you know, say kebab or like McDonald's or something like that. So that is one downside, and also the supermarkets close really early. Well, good morning, and it's much nicer now. It even gets a little sunny. I should have sunglasses, I think, with me, right there. So I have to go and give my math talk, and I think the buses are free. At least that's what the app PAME I had to download to get around. So Google Maps doesn't really seem to work. And this is an interesting place. I'll say more about this later, but Nicosia is the world's only divided city in that there was a war where Turkey invaded Cyprus in 1974. There's all kinds of stuff involved with this. I don't really want to pretend to know what I'm talking about here. So basically, there's an unrecognized Turkish Republic of North Cyprus that is over here. We'll go to the site over there a little later today. But basically, this breakaway republic, it's only recognized by Turkey. No other countries in the world are recognizing it. And I think people pretty freely go back and forth across. There's all kinds of details. I'm in the place to go for the buses, but the app is saying €0 to take the bus number 33. But then actually it's €2.40. So I don't know if this is a problem. There's a bug on the app. There's some sort of scam where you get caught for something, not paying, thinking it's free. But the buses aren't free no matter what the official app tells you. So maybe this is something to be really careful about. If the math talk ends and there's no questions, you have this, university is right over there, and you got this right here in case you want to do some urbex. So I guess University of Cyprus has something for everybody. Well, apparently I screwed that one up. So, there's an old and a new campus, and this happens a lot of times when you visit universities. You just end up going to the wrong campus. So I think I didn't prepare that properly, so I got to go find yet another bus. And it's a good thing I was going to be there, leaving to be there really early. Usual sort of math chaos. So there's a little change of plans. So my contact at University of Cyprus, he says, hey, rather than wait for the bus, I'm going to come over to the old campus and pick you up, go to the new campus, we'll have some lunch. So I'll wait here for a few minutes, and I guess he's going to come up here with his car. So you don't know how fast it's converging, because you can have this growing long, and then you get some convergence of the leftmost digit towards what it should be, some number. But then by the time you get like a good approximation to how often those are close to what they should be, the word is too long for it to really make any difference at all. I think I found a fairly pretty place around here. This is Eleftheria Square. And my math talk is over. I think it went fairly well. I don't really have too many shots from there because none of the mathematicians I met were like, yay, let's go vlogging. But I had some good conversations, and there was a guy afterwards, I think he was doing something a little bit more related to algebraic geometry, and we're discussing some interesting intersections between something unrelated I was doing and what he was interested in. So this is, I think, just my last night in Nicosia. I'm probably just gonna go to Limassol tomorrow. And this isn't just about staying here. I want to look around Cyprus. Everybody's telling me I should be renting a car. I'm still a little scared about it being on the other side, but it definitely seems that Cyprus is, my contact called it like the America of Europe, just because public transportation still isn't developed, and I think it was less developed in Albania, to be honest, but still. So for now, I'm going to still try to get things or do things on foot, but. Saying a little bit more about this situation with the Turkish Republic of North Cyprus and kind of what I'm not going to say. It's very, very clearly a sensitive topic. And there was the one guy I met yesterday who sold me this wallet, and I was just kind of chatting with for an hour or two or whatever. He said he used to live there and he had to flee, and he gets updates about his house or whatever. They're developing more properties on it. This is something that Cyprus really gains a lot of points for this. One of the things I miss about the US. You have to be careful not to get caught in the chocolate maze of Nicosia. I suffer from OCD. Well, I think we're going to get away from that place and get going this way. And here it is right behind me. Right over there is the unrecognized Turkish Republic of North Cyprus. And there's, of course, a kitty cat hanging out right there where the passport control is. And my understanding is you can just kind of go and cross really easily. And here I'm just going to avoid it for reasons I was mentioning before. But apparently I was told about this after my math talk, that there's these green lines that were drawn dividing Cyprus on the math, or form this UN buffer zone. And here's one of the places where it's just really, really tiny, and there's some other places where it's much bigger. This is kind of cool. This town is getting a little bit more positive to me because I saw papuga here. Sorry, the Polish word is a parrot. And this is, just keep in mind, this is like the police station and where they're checking the passports for all this. And we've got a parrot here, but can it fly or not? Just kind of hanging out on the cage. I hope it's okay. It was just stretching, I think, so it's okay. I was a little worried about it for a minute. And now it's just showing off. Look how beautiful my wings are. It's very cute. It's like showing off right now. Oh. I think I'm going to leave Nicosia pretty soon. To be honest, I kind of not feeling it. In no ways have I really done an actual thorough exploration of this place. And just as I'm saying that, I'm walking on this main center area, and I find something that's really kind of up my alley, not to mention shoe shack there and ruins. And then there's one of Daddy Enver's bunkers from Albania. Some fun stuff here. I think this is one of those things where you can buy drugs on Telegram. That says to be Kate loves boobies. Yeah, nice and classy. So, and wait, we have some little kids putting graffiti too. There's an anarchy. Yeah, I think it's just the sort of thing where there is, I'm sure, way more to this city. I mean, it's a big-ish city. There's no way I've actually really done it justice. But I think I just kind of want to go to the beach. I want to do stuff that's a little bit more like Cyprus-y when you hear that. Well, I'm on my way to the bus to Limassol now, and for those who want a wonderful home to live in, check this out. And this is, believe it or not, actually for sale. You just need to call 800-00-801, and you can tell them that I sent you there. Hey everyone, so this is what the doctor ordered. I'm on Nice Beach is the name of it in Limassol. And this is great. It was a little overkill with this jacket. I could have worn a lot less actually. It's like 55 degrees. And yeah, there's just the right amount of sun. You know, my ancestor's the one that came from some cold, dark place in Finland. Wouldn't really let my jeans handle like when this is coming down full blast in the summer, so I'm definitely not coming here some other time, you know, in like July or August or something. But yeah, this is great, and I think there's a guy. I was gonna say he's ready to swim. I guess he's working out or something. And I've been feeling just really kind of bad, honestly, lately in Poland. Just something with that the sun. It's not really that it's too cold, but Nicosia didn't really help too much. But this is exactly where it's at. You know, I didn't really bring anything to swim with. I wasn't totally sure about it, but guy over there is swimming. And I wanted to make a remark as well. It's something just a little different. So if I'm reading the map correctly, actually we can just go that way, 242 miles, and you get to the Gaza Strip. We found the most rundown Best Buy I've ever seen. Something's a little bit off. It's a member of DACA shops. I wonder, can you still get Geek Squad protection? Can you buy a laptop or TV over there? Gotta go check it out. Do you have laptops or anything? So your store's Best Buy, you know, it's a laptop store in the US, so.
We are different.
Does anybody else think it's the Best Buy in the United States?
No, there was some people who was asking before. That's
Okay.
why I know.
Oh. Well, it's escalated a little bit. Meow meow, meow meow. Well, this keeps happening. I relax a little bit. And it's a little orange cat. A whole bunch of cats are just coming out. This one started by talking. We have another orange cat. that orange cat. I noticed there are many, many orange cats and also like the 3-color cats in Cyprus. Hey, okay. Some sort of Garfield cat right here. And that one has a little paw cat bed over there. That one's digging. And I think they left some bowls of food around here too. Hey, oh. Well, I don't want to get involved in that fight. Hey, I understand the hotels and the people, they're leaving out these like beds and everything for the cats. And you can even see like the cat feeding station right here. All kinds of things for them to sleep on. There's a scratching post, all kinds of food. Hey. And I don't want to bother them while they're eating unless they're like that chilled out. Definitely someone's taking care of all this stuff here. Yeah, look at that. They are just like home outside. That one has the bed there. And there's a cat tree over here as well. So I know I'm literally spending hours just kind of sitting with this stuff. So I think I'm going to try to move on. In no way did I do Limassol any sort of justice at all. And there's also a bunch of cool stuff, you know, if you're to go further out and rent a car or something like that. A lot of cute turtles around. I don't know, I think it's just a more relaxing vacation. Got to play with some cats, just talk to some guy for about an hour about the drone and everything, and I think I'm just gonna go back and relax for a bit. I checked out my Airbnb on my way to Larnaca, and there actually is Bro Academy that they're advertising there. I'm not sure where it is. That's a real thing, so you can study IT at Bro Academy. Maybe you go and work at Best Buy after you go there. Checked into the new apartment in Larnaca, and it's totally reasonable. The lighting isn't quite as much as I wanted if I'm going to be working on something, but I think it's totally reasonable. And the most important thing is that I think the area here is probably a lot nicer for me than it was where I was staying in Limassol. So I might get stuck just playing with cats the whole time, but let's go out and see. It's approaching sunset anyways. So actually it's not a building, so I'm staying in the room over there, and it's actually outside. We got some of these cool blue and yellow and all that windows, so I'm gonna step outside. It's gonna be heading towards a marina. And the room I'm staying in is right behind the Holy Church of St. Lazarus, and so this is a really, really nice view coming out. I'm spending 3 nights here. I think it's starting to happen again. Look at this distinguished fellow over here, just kind of sitting on the plant, taking a nap. Well, I'm not going to wake you up. I want to let you peacefully rest. But I think it's a really good sign that like these cats are able to just peacefully rest out in the open like this, rather than having to hide somewhere because they know they're in danger. This is pretty cool. They can just kind of go in here, and I saw this white cat. It's actually a white cat in the wild. I really miss my white cat back in Poland. But I think this one doesn't really want to get belly rubs or jump on my shoulders. There's another cat in there sitting on the chair too. It's about 11:30 Friday night, looking to find Larnaca nightlife. And it exists, but I mean, there hasn't really been anything worth even showing. Like, there's a few bars, some of them are playing loud noise, no one's really dancing or moving much. I mean, that's cool and everything. I look up like Larnaca nightlife and Google Images, and there's all this like Cyprus, the new Ibiza of whatever. So I think that's only during the summer season. Another thing about this area too, I noticed like there's no real close grocery store, and like I said before, the public transportation is very limited. So there's a bunch of like small shops. I mean, it's kind of cool that this one is open till 3 a.m. But the closest grocery store in the metro is closed at like 9 p.m. and I kind of took a nap and woke up after that, so it wasn't really possible. And just kind of looking online also, I think like when it's summertime, I'm sure like the vibe is way different, and the idea actually really sounds nice to me now. I think there can be all kinds of like beach clubs and things like this, or people going down here. But now I think it's really honestly more just kind of locals just chilling, doing their thing, It's kind of unusual to me actually at this beach at the nighttime. There doesn't seem to be anybody here. Usually most beaches I've been to, there's someone hanging out, couples out, or who knows what, but it's just totally desolate. Time to just look around the area and explore a little bit. So right back there is Finicaudas Beach, which is really close to where I'm staying. And it kind of seems to be where most things, at least of interest that I know of, are located. And I just climbed over here in this kind of crazy rocky path, and there's a whole bunch of people that way. I think the only people who've gone a bit further are the fishermen. And here's a marina, and I'm going to be taking this cruise on this yellow submarine, ha 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 ha. And supposedly there might be a chance to see like a shipwreck beneath and a bunch of like wild sea animals and things like this. So we're going to like walk around a little bit before we get there. Don't go on that thing if you have any ankle stability or knee instability or anything like that. The guy was fine, but actually one of the rocks started moving like a tiny little bit when I stepped on it, and you just need to constantly all the stuff to, you know, not fall into the sea. So things have gotten a little bit more cloudy. Kind of happens quickly. I mean, we can see the clouds. Here's the beach, some people up ahead, but not really anyone swimming. I like the beach right now. Probably I'm the only one. It's a little bit chilly, that's fine. I do miss the crowds of people, so that's something I do like. It's just the sun I don't like on the beach. So you see it's still kind of barren, especially because it's kind of raining a little bit. So I don't know, I don't think it's so bad being here in February. This is the main passageway on Finicaudas Beach, and I get the general feeling that this area is a bit more concentrated than Limassol was. And there are other beaches when you go further. Actually, like one of the cool things, if you kind of watch that way, the airport is over there and you can see a whole bunch of planes taking off and landing. And there is a beach up ahead that I don't think we're gonna have time to get to today, maybe tomorrow, where you can actually see the planes taking off and landing. Here's a rare sight to see in Cyprus. You got a whole bunch of buses. You know, just generally public transportation, not too common. But I happen to be three. Oh, there's actually a fourth one here coming now too. Oh my God. So this is, yeah, basically where I arrived when I got here from Limassol. It's probably one of the scariest things I've seen in Cyprus. It's Hansel and Gretel, and it's all like crazy, just really emphasizing it is actually the witch's gingerbread house. So I think it's like an ice cream restaurant, but you're eaten by a witch if you go in. I'm not really sure. I really don't want to go anywhere inside this place. I mean, they even have like the witch just to emphasize the danger. If my mom were here with me on this trip, you know, she's back in Detroit now, she'd be really interested in this, a little local market and these sorts of things. Like, I mean, to me, honestly, I don't really see the difference between any of them, and they're not really like that interesting, but I know that some people really like this sort of stuff. And like I said, if my mom were here, she'd be here for, I don't know, half hour looking at all the things. So I'll just kind of do a little quick show at what type of stuff is here. One thing I definitely felt was lacking on the seaside was like rides and fun games and everything. And I don't know if these are actually fun games because we have hobo games. I'm not going in there. Like, the only thing I know about hobo games is there was a Bold and Bankrupt episode somewhere in the sticks in Belarus where he was, they were like punching their fists together until someone gave up because it hurt so much. I guess you can go to Hobo Games Land and play that if you want. This is really peculiar. What is this for? Maybe, I guess they can move these blocks. Yeah, they're actually not like that heavy. So I'm guessing this might be something where they can set this up in the summer and maybe put some sort of like umbrella over them or something like that to fill up the beach. So someone let me know in the comments if that's actually correct or not. Water sports. This is the end of the line here. I walked that way a bit last night when it was really dark, and honestly, like, the only thing I really saw was just a whole bunch of restaurants, and it does connect to another beach if you go far enough. This is Larnaca Castle, and I love this sort of stuff. And actually, you know, my mom, if she were with me, like I said, would love it even more. But I do really need to rush to actually get to the Yellow Submarine in time, so we'll try stopping by here tomorrow if we can before my plane flies out. And I am wondering, is this the same white cat I found before? Actually had to wait in line a little bit to pet him. Hey. I have a white cat I miss back in Poznan. Oh, hey. I miss my white cat. And you're cute too. Someone's getting more affectionate. Oh. Someone was overstimulated there. It's now time to see the yellow submarine. So one thing I was promised on this is that there's a bathroom. I've noticed a lack of public bathrooms in general in Cyprus. It seems to actually be competing with Moldova for a title of the least public bathrooms. So I'm promised there's one on the ship. And we're going to be seeing the MS Zenobia. So this is a ship that's 42 meters long. There was more than $200 million of cargo on it, and it sunk here in June 1980. So I hope we're going to get a good, nice view of it. And I guess this is a sunset cruise, but I think it's too cloudy to really see that much of a sunset. Well, let me get the ticket. Oh, it's heated underneath here, and we can see the stuff here. We haven't taken off yet, but there's some fish here and there every once in a while. So it's Osmo Pocket 3. And so... Hey.
Oh my god, how interesting. So you can make your videos, editor? Can you edit?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you a vlogger?
Yeah.
What channel?
Bill's Aftermath.
Are you on Instagram?
You can come to the very top of the boat, and it's super shaky. Sit down, definitely. I can see why people might get seasick, like I haven't really, but yeah, I can see a little bit of the sunset over there. Well, I definitely don't want to miss this, so I guess the shipwreck is pretty close. The view is way different from when we left the shore. So I guess this is the ship down here. Can we see it that much?
Okay, 40 meters down on the seabed.
How much of the $200 million is left down there?
We took everything.
Everything.
The insurance paid out. It's full of containers with the newest model of 1979 Mercedes-Benz.
Oh wow, a bunch of Mercedes down there.
Yeah, many. And agricultural machinery that was destined for Syria.
Oh, okay.
Plus many, many other things. It was a Swedish ship. It had problems with the computer system. New computers. That was controlling the water cooling system, the pumps. It's bringing in the water but not taking it out.
We're heading towards this other beach near the airport, so maybe we get lucky to see some planes taking off. I guess something with the wind, they're not going to approach us. All right, goodbye.
Thank you, bye.
That was pretty cool, actually, and you know, it was nice to see the shipwreck. I guess what they were saying is it's better to go in the morning, that you're going to see a lot more. And you know, I was of course sleeping in the morning because that's what I always do. Going to be a little bit of a party pooper now. I need to grade a couple things for the classes I'm teaching. They're having their final exam very soon, basically pretty much right after I get back. Good morning, everyone. This is my last day here, and I need to get to the airport and not miss my flight because I have to proctor a final exam for my students tomorrow. And this is, like I mentioned before, the Church of St. Lazarus, and the way that this story goes in this. So, you know, Lazarus was revived by Jesus, he was brought back from the dead, and then he became Bishop of Larnaca. And then I guess he suffered permadeath, the place where that church was built, and then it was built over him. So I want to go check out inside a little bit. I don't have too much time because I got to mail the threatening postcards. I want to just briefly check out the church and check out the Salt Lake before I get to the airport. And I tried to get into this place before, like yesterday, and it was actually closed down because apparently someone was like wielding a knife or something like that. And I know that I would be at risk of permadeath, so I didn't really want to go that close to it. There was a little bit of a unexpected event. So turns out someone was having a funeral here, and there were some people inside that were very, very, very upset. So I figured it would be a bit tasteless to snap some photos and videos, even though I probably could have done it. I don't think I've talked about this yet, but there are all these like nice little streets around this area. You know, you can go down there, a bunch of little shops and stuff. The only thing that really kills the mood for me are just these cars buzzing through. I think this area would just have such a better vibe if somehow traffic was redirected, but maybe that's not realistic, or maybe they just made more public transportation that would help. You can get on the bus to the airport and get off at the next to last stop and see the flamingos. And it was 17 minutes late, and you know, from my perspective, it's also a bit expensive, €2.40, shouldn't be quite that much. Public transportation here sucks. But anyways, it left me off on this road here, and there's like this really big salt lake there. And what I see now, how visible is this? I might just have to like zoom a lot. I see 5 flamingos. And you can see right there is the airport over there. You got some planes. And there's supposed to be between 2,000 and 12,000 flamingos here and a whole bunch of other birds. We have 2 kilometers to go to the airport. So actually probably this isn't a good idea if you have luggage. I mean, I left I think with enough time, but it turns out I didn't if I wanted to see the flamingos also, so I gotta walk quickly. But we can just look a little at Salt Lake over here, and I gotta kind of walk quickly then. Oh, it's cold. I need to get back home to some warmth. It just really hit me, and I'm really underdressed right now. And I'm back where I started, and clearly I still can't seem to get away from the police. They're following me back there again. And yeah, I figured out what happened with the microphone. It's really stupid. So it was in my pocket, I think, and notice what happens on the back of an iPhone. So the whole MagSafe thing, it yeah, just kind of, I think I went to take out a photo and it probably got knocked off somewhere in Nicosia. So now I know better. It's probably not the size that lost it, so be careful. And just generally, how's the sound? How does this DJI Mic Mini compare to the DJI Mic 2 in my other videos? And yeah, generally, just a kind of short summary is I feel so much better after this trip. Like, you know, just kind of looking at what's around us right now. I mean, this is kind of cool in its own way. Got the tram and everything, and you know, I'm back home, but just being there for just some sun and some warmth and everything, and you know, it's February, it just made such a difference. So even though it's not tourist season, like, I highly recommend anyone to go do this. But don't tell too many people because they don't want the prices to go up. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I was going to summarize my thoughts of the different cities, but the main thing is this trip was totally worthwhile. So stick around, like, comment, subscribe, see whatever's happening next. And I'm not going to say what it is right now. You have to find out. All right, I'm out.